So hello and welcome back to the Amateur Dota 2 League Thursday Finals between Annie and Ape. It's going to be a best-of-5 series between these two teams. We just saw Game 1 where Annie took it with a somewhat traditional lineup. Their Luna and their Outworld Devourer got extremely out of control in the early game, and that just gave them a huge advantage. We saw an Ember Spirit pickup by Ape that didn't really pan out the way they wanted it to.
10 seconds remaining.
So we'll see how both teams respond after getting to know each other a little bit in the first
5
game.
seconds remaining.
Joining me again is Wakey from across the pond, our resident Brit. How's it going, buddy?
Reserve time.
It's going good. I'm looking forward to our second game. I don't think we'll see Ember Spirit again this game.
I think that's a
I
safe
don't think
bet.
he's going to make an appearance this
no
time.
bet. No bet on that. I'm not throwing any rares down on that.
And like you said, actually, at the end of the last game, first ban OD coming out from Ape.
Yep, no surprise there.
Radiant
OD
team
is just
ban.
has been such a strong hero for such a long time, with a lot of heroes that are being sort of like newly first picked and banned, such as Death Prophet and Bristleback. We might forget how good OD is until you let an OD get a 20-minute cheap stick and go
10
12-0 on you,
remaining.
which is what we saw last game. So not surprising to see that first ban.
5 seconds
Annie will
remaining.
throw out Bane and the Timbersaw. So those are both two relatively common bans. Timbersaw is really hard to
time.
pick around. And just by banning Bane, they limit a lot of the strategic options that Ape could take. You know, we won't be seeing any Mirana Bane type action.
Yeah, Bane's a really, really strong hero at the moment. I think yeah, I actually prefer, if you were going to run the Mirana combo, I'd rather see it with a Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Just because of the Soul Catcher and the burst
Dire
damage
team
you can get from that.
Yeah, I think that's a really
Radiant
underrated
team
combination. I've said that a bunch this tournament. We'll see a first pick Visage from Annie, so I'm really happy to see that. I really like watching Visage. I like everything about that hero. I like playing Visage, and I think he adds so much to a team. And you can just do so much damage with Soul Assumption. It's just one of the best skills in the game, I think, just because of its spam ability and just how much damage it does. It's very strong, even at early levels, and just makes your
10
team so much
seconds
stronger in
remaining.
team fights. So we'll see exactly what Ape
Yeah, it's
decides to do here
5
with their
seconds
first two
remaining.
picks. They have banned out the Bristleback, but Death Prophet will sneak through if they so desire.
Reserve time.
And I think the Death Prophet is extremely strong right now. We will see a Venomancer first pick, and that's pretty
Radiant
standard,
team pick.
even after his HP regen nerf. So we'll see if they pick up the Death Prophet here. What do you think about Death Prophet right now, Wakey? How do you feel about that hero?
I think it's so strong. I think what you find there's actually a really, really good website called Dota2Statistics.com, and you can see all of the stats from the AD2L Season 2
Dire
so
team
far.
pick.
And the trend that you'll actually notice is most of the games actually finish before the game reaches the 20-minute mark. Which I think was really, really surprising, but I think it's because of the way that the new patches in Dota have come about and how strong that pushing strategies are now. And obviously Death Prophet works into that so well. The fact that you can completely restrict where the enemy's heroes can farm on the map by taking towers nice and early, as
10
soon as you hit level
seconds
6,
remaining.
especially when you play against a mid hero. This is what I think Death Prophet is really, really good
5
at.
seconds
If you choose
remaining.
a ganking hero to go mid, for example, a Queen of Pain or a Storm Spirit, as soon as they hit level 6, they're going to be looking to go to the side lanes to try and make some kills happen, because that's how that hero works. They snowball by getting kills. Death Prophet's completely the opposite. Death Prophet will sit in lane, wait for you to go, and then as soon as you're gone, pop the ultimate and your tier 1 tower mid's gone. And that's such a big advantage to have, like, so early on, not only because of the map
Dire
advantage it gives you,
team ban.
but also the bonus gold as well.
Yeah, and it's funny you sort of misspoke there and almost said Tier 2 tower, but I don't think that was even incorrect. I think that the Tier 2 tower is going down as
Yeah.
well if you leave the lane. I mean, Exorcism is just
Radiant
fantastically
team
good. I mean,
ban.
it's so good that we see people even foregoing skilling Silence. So I think that the fact that Death Prophet has not been picked or banned yet is a little bit of a surprise. Against better teams, Death Prophet is not as good as it is against worse teams. I think
Dire team
the
ban.
possibility of getting blade mails early on supports and offlane heroes
Yeah.
somewhat limits the capacity of Exorcism to take towers, but I think it's still so strong. And that's funny that you mentioned the statistic about the average game length being less than 20 minutes. I mean, let me tell you,
10
we casted some
seconds
games that
remaining.
were pretty one-sided.
Radiant team ban.
Yeah.
I think I'm remembering an Ape game correctly that was just a real bloodbath. But next season in the
Radiant
AD2L,
team
right,
pick.
there's actually going to be sort of I'm not even sure the best way to describe it. Like a Premier League, to use a soccer reference. There'll be a Premier League where you have
Dire
to sort of
team
like
pick.
work your way into it, and then like a lower tier league for just people who wanted to just mess around and play competitive. So hopefully,
Yeah, I think that's- I
hopefully
think
the
that's a good
average
idea.
length will go up.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
oh yes, we're gonna see an Ancient Apparition. We should actually focus on the draft a little bit. We see Lone Druid and Storm Spirit banned out by Annie, and Invoker and Weaver banned out by Ape. Pretty common bans. Then we'll see a Lifestealer picked up to complement the Venomancer and the Doom, and a Luna and an Ancient Apparition picked up by Annie. Ancient Apparition is the new black in Dota 2. He is such a powerful hero.
He's such a strong hero.
Yeah, in
10
ways that I
seconds
never
remaining.
really even thought of. Even 3 weeks ago.
5 seconds remaining.
His ability to contribute in tri lanes with cold feet. The stun just works so
Reserve
well,
time.
and Chilling Touch gives you so much damage,
Chilling
and
Touch.
that will work
Yeah.
in conjunction with Luna and Visage so well. They will drop the cold feet, Visage will Grave Chill, and then everybody's right clicks will do 1 billion damage, and whoever their target is will
Exactly.
likely die. I mean, the first time I read Ancient Apparition and maxed Cold Feet and Chilling Touch first, I mean, it was like unreal. It was like, how did I never do this before? Like, how did I never skill this ability when it was level 1? I mean, it's so strong.
You know what?
I was totally dumbfounded.
When I first started playing Dota, I played a few Ancient Apparition games, and I was exactly the same as you. I was like, Chilling Touch, oh, what a rubbish spell that is. It slows your attacks. It's like, well, why would I ever skill that up? But it's so strong at level 1. And the fact of the matter is, if you put Chilling Touch on every single one of your heroes at level 1, let's say there's an engagement, they smoke into the Radiant jungle, for example, and there's an engagement, and they meet. If you put Chilling Touch and it hits every single one of your heroes at level 1, that's 600 damage. It's 50 damage, magical damage, and it's 3 attacks. It's 600 damage. Obviously, a little bit less after you take into account spell resistance, etc. But that's just an insane amount of damage at level 1. It's such a good spell. And then Ice Blast. I really like Ice Blast against Lifestealer because if he gets hit with Ice Blast in the middle of a fight, then it doesn't matter. Open Wounds becomes
Radiant
inefficient.
team
Feast is
ban.
completely irrelevant. You will not regain any health whatsoever. And at that point, the fight's lost. You just have to either lose the fight or get out of the fight. And it's such a good pickup. And we now see the Clockwork picked up by Annie as well. And I'll tell you what, I bet that's a mid Clockwork.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I definitely agree because
I'm making the shout.
5
yeah, I
seconds
think that
remaining.
I think mid Clockwork is very good. I still prefer Clockwork in the mid over the off lane,
Radiant team
even
pick.
after all this time with his rise as an off lane hero. And we see a Nature's Prophet pick up by Ape, so that's sort of indicative of what they want to do with their strategy. Nature's Prophet going fairly late in the draft. I mean, we'll see Rubik and Viper banned out 5th by Annie and Ape respectively, so those are sort of interesting bans. I think that the Rubik ban is a good decision. If Rubik steals Ice Blast, it's quite good. Eclipse is fantastic to steal. Cogs is great to steal.
10 seconds
The
remaining.
Visage Bats is actually really hilarious to steal if you can get it, but it's a hard one to
5
snatch. But
seconds
it's,
remaining.
I highly recommend it if you have the means. So we'll see.
Is this a Doom mid?
Reserve
on the
time.
sound
I was
fake?
just going to say, where are they going to lane the Doom? And that has been the question of like the last 5 games I've casted, because I'm pretty sure that Doom has made an appearance in probably 80 or 90% of them. So we could see a offlane Prophet Doom mid. And so I was
maybe
wrong.
not.
We're going to see Tinker
Totally.
mid, of
Dire
course.
Oh my
team
God.
pick.
They're
Okay.
going to go for the...
That's a greedier lineup than the
yeah,
one before.
I was gonna... I mean, hey man, if it doesn't work the first time, just double down and go harder this
Yeah.
time, right?
Exactly,
So we're
exactly.
gonna see a bit of rat Dota here. So just get into, go to your resident neighborhood street, pop up in the manhole cover, and get down into the sewers, because we're about to see some pushing all over the map with the Prophet
10
and the Tinker
seconds
being picked.
remaining.
There's actually a lot of ganking potential as well. Not just the rat Dota, but also the ganking. Because if you have a tree, if you have Nature's Prophet's tree, and you send that pretty much anywhere on the map, you can control that and send it anywhere on the map. The Tinker can TP to it with the Lifestealer infested inside the Tinker, and you can just put out so much burst damage.
Yeah, that's really scary
with those
if
two heroes.
you're a Visage or a Drow Ranger. That's really terrifying. And I'm actually really surprised to see Annie go for the Drow Ranger here after they've gotten the Luna.
Yeah.
That's greedy as well, so we're definitely seeing non-standard stuff come out from them. Drow Ranger has actually been seeing some play since they reworked her Silence, but I feel like that's more just because people aren't 100% used to it quite yet. I mean, Drow Ranger is... I mean, her DPS is extremely high, but if you're playing against strong opponents who know how to limit that by just getting in her face, especially with something like a Doom with a Naix infested inside, I mean, that's going to be really hard. And we see Ape remarking, "Good luck, boys." #RatDota. So they are a little bit. They are
It's a perfectly legit strat.
They are wise. It's like camping. It's a legitimate strategy. It is
Exactly.
somewhat frustrating to play against, however. I am the first to admit. So we'll go ahead and introduce the teams here on the Radiant side for APE. We're going to see TGC playing the Venomancer. We're going to see Kid Named Joester playing that mid Tinker. We'll see Affinity for STFU playing the Doom, and he's got a Stout Shield, so he might go offlane here. And just as I say that, we're going to see Karama playing the Lifestealer going offlane, so they will probably aggro try and safe lane solo the Doom. Meanwhile, for Annie, we're going to see Lucy playing the Luna again, second time in a row. Psychodelia playing that Visage. Ape playing the Drow Ranger. Merv
It's a
playing
level 1
Clockwork,
Roshan.
and Greed playing the AA, and they will run into Roshan and start doing the damage. We will see
What
this
a pocket
trend.
strat.
Yeah, very interesting. We'll see what they've got in terms of items. They will need a couple salves to do this, and oh baby, this Trent! It doesn't see it. Oh god, that's so awkward.
Oh, the Drow Ranger getting so low as well. This is a hard
30
strat. I've not seen this.
I don't
I mean, you've
know.
obviously got the damage.
Come on. The Trent
you've got
dies.
the
Did they
damage
see
from
it?
the
Did they
Drow
see
aura.
it? Oh no, the Trent needs bigger eyes. It's got to be the big bad wolf eyes to see you with. And if Murd gets killed by Roshan here, that will be there's no worse way to tell the team that you've Roshan than by having that little one.
Yeah, they're gonna get it though.
But I
Roshan
can't
has
believe that
fallen
worked.
to the dire.
I dare
What's
say
interesting there-
I dare say we should have seen that coming, but I just think with the Ancient Apparition, I was not expecting them to be able to,
Yeah.
to take it out. I mean, it got mighty close there, but all they had to have was 3 or 4 salves, and they had some nice teamwork there.
To be honest, I think the two heroes that were obviously really suited for that were the Drow and the Luna with the auras, giving the whole team a lot of extra damage. I actually think the Chilling Touch from Ancient Apparition, it works great on heroes at level 1, like we mentioned before the game started. But on Roshan, when you've got 75% magic resistance to fight up against, bear in mind it's slowing your attacks as well. The extra damage, if any, you get from it is pretty negligible. And I really don't think that was probably the best hero. I think maybe a hero like a Vengeful Spirit
Yeah,
would
I
have
was
been
just
better
about to
if
say,
they-
I've seen Vengeful Spirit and Luna is actually one of my favorite combos
Denied.
to run right now in like pub games. The auras just
Yeah.
stack. It's like the damage you do is just obscene. It's ridiculous. I mean, we will see
we
Ilias.
do a level 1 hero strat in our pub games actually, and it involves Nature's Prophet tanking the trees, and then you have the Drow, you have the Luna, you have the Venge, and then you actually have a Dazzle to heal the tree ants in the
Oh,
Rosh
okay.
Pit. Nobody takes any damage, and you can get it done for 18 seconds before the game starts
Well, that's nice.
in an all pit game. Yeah, so there's a little one for you.
Put that one in the
this,
memory banks, kids. Get your notes out, boys and girls. We're learning stuff today. All kinds of level 1 roast strategies. But we will see Lucy and the Luna pick up that Aegis. I mean, we will see a Ilias solo safe lane Nature's Prophet
denied.
against an aggressive tri-lane. And we will actually see a Doom in the jungle. So I really think, contrary to the last 2 years of Dota, that Doom in the jungle is the worst place to put him.
Dire's top tower is under
There's
attack.
some strategies that involve Doom being placed in the opponent's jungle with an aggressive Tron, but I think it's really weak. We'll see Ilias actually get dived here by 2 heroes, but he will TP to safety, but now he will be all the way back home. He will not give up first blood, but he will give up safe farm to Luna. And
Radiant's
as we saw
bottom
last game,
tower
that was
is under
not
attack.
a tenable strategy, unfortunately. So he might just...
they're just going to push. They're going to be able to take this tower so fast.
Yeah.
He can't stay in this lane either, and he doesn't. With the Doom jungling as well, he doesn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah, and I mean,
There's
I
no-
think that's the thing with Doom. He's sometimes it's very awkward to lane Doom because mid he's not great. We'll see Kid Named Joester actually dive here on Ape. We'll see the gust come out from him, so push back. Not gonna get the kill on him. He's skilling laser actually. So okay, there he goes. Finally skilling 1 rank of March. I thought he was just gonna go for my favorite build on Tinker, just max murdering, where you just go max missile, max laser beam. It's not good, but it's really hilarious. It fits nicely with the Dagon. It's really good. It's really fun to run sometimes.
Yeah, and he has managed to harass Ape Sam all the way back to base. I think the Nature's Prophet is going to be in so much
Yeah.
trouble in this bottom lane because bear in mind they did the level 1 Roshan anyway. Every single one of these heroes is already a level above the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah,
and
he is
and they
just
can
so far
dive
behind.
the tower whenever they want. Yeah.
And we already see boots coming out of the Ancient Apparition and Visage Not quite close, but Luna does have boots as well. So Yili's so much trouble. He has no boots. He's got no real escapes other than teleport, but that's not really something you want to rely on in a lane with a lot of disable.
Come.
Yeah, I mean, and especially with the Grave Chill, that slow is 32%, and that's enough to prop the chilling the cold feet.
Yep.
So if he gets caught out, he will die. There's no doubt about that, especially when you've got the burst damage from Soul Assumption.
Yeah, because Cold Feet's distance is what, 650? 740 actually.
Yeah.
So even better than what I thought. So yeah, this is the problem when you pick up Doom. If you can't put him mid, and Doom against a Drow Ranger, I'm not really sure how that would go. I feel like Drow Ranger would be able to kill him, but I guess that depends. But you can't really put him safe lane either. Especially against an aggro try, he doesn't really contribute there. So your only other option is to aggro tri lane, but he doesn't really have kill potential early. He needs the farm. He needs to get that Devour going. He will be going for a Midas, so we could see a really old school kind of like carry Doom out of the jungle build, where he comes out with like 6 items late in the game after his teammates 5v4 for the whole time. But Yili is just scared for his life right now. True to the Nature's Prophet. This is like he's an RPG player for Nature's Prophet. He's
Radiant's
just
bottom tower
he's
is
like
under
just
attack.
chilling in the trees. He will in fact teleport. He will use teleportation to teleport all of like 2,000 range just to get out of that sticky situation. But with this ward here, I mean, Annie is just absolutely dominating this lane right now. And if we take a look at the net worth in the last hits, we can see Luna leading the charge with 32 and 7. Followed by the Lifestealers, 30 and 7. So he's not doing very bad. Karama on the Lifestealer, not doing bad at all. He'll probably go for a Midas as well. We'll see if... Yeah, Luna doesn't look like she will go for a Midas. Do you think...
I don't think they expected the aggressive tri-lane coming out from Annie, to be honest, because you wouldn't lane a Nature's Prophet down there against an aggressive tri-lane. I think Nature's Prophet in the off-lane does okay against a safe lane tri-lane. Yeah. But because you can obviously pull the creeps around and get them stacking up and bring it close to your tower, but we're actually going to see the Venomancer rotate down here because they know how much trouble they're in. They're just going to keep pushing this lane.
I don't think that
even be able to...
Yeah, I don't even think bringing the Venomancer down is going to stop this right now. I mean, Yilius is still level 3. He only has rank 2 of Trents, which is not really good against a level 5 Luna, whose Aegis is about to be reclaimed. So he'll be back up with full health, full mana. We could see an engagement here on the Doom, and this is the problem whenever you jungle anybody in a competitive environment. The supports know that, and they know where you're going to be, and they will zone you to death. And Psychedelia, look where he is right now. I mean, he's showing no fear, but that's all to zone out the Doom. And Tinker actually has the regen rune, and he's got level 6, but he doesn't have rearm. Oof. I mean, not skilling rearm at level 6 is completely normal to do, but when you've got that regen rune, it's, at least when this happens to me, I'm always, like, kicking myself, like, oh, I could be spamming missiles 100 times right now. And we see this Ancient ward here just to stop the Tinker from stacking Ancients. Really smart to do there by Psychedelia. I mean, that maneuver he just did was so smart, because he could have gotten the Doom very easily, and then, of course, he warded the Ancients, which will considerably put this Tinker down. We're going to see an engagement here on Murd. Top Karama's going to go in the cage against the Clockwork with Psychedelia rotating up as well, but Karama's going to eat a Soul Assumption and go down, actually, so that's 0 for 1 right now, and Lucy's up here as well, so they will all get gold for that. And we'll see, actually, we're going to see Prophet TP in bottom. We'll see Yilius maybe trying to push this lane back after this big rotation from Annie, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. I mean, even with the Ancient Apparition in lane, it's so long to push, and you've got to think that the Luna's going to want to come back and farm, but who knows? We'll see what happens. The really important thing for Ape right now is that they just make space for their Doom.
Radiant's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
definitely. That's the only real advantage they're getting at the moment, because they are losing in every single lane right now. They're losing every single lane. We have the Lifestealer go down top.
Radiant's top tower is under
finishing
attack.
a Midas 730, so a little late on that, but she had that Wraith Band just for the Roshan attempt, so
Dire's
no
middle
cash
tower is
at
under
the
attack.
start. Just
Radiant's
over,
top
so
tower is under attack.
we'll see what happens. So we actually do
Dire's
see Ilias able to
structures
push
are
this up a little
fortified.
bit. Pop the glyph. But they will trade a tower top. Lucy gets the kill on that. We'll see if they TP bottom here and defend this tower. But even if they don't, I'm relatively sure that Ancient Apparition is going to be able to push all this back. We see, just look at the aggressive warding right now from Annie. I mean, they've got all kinds of wards in the jungle right now. I'm surprised they haven't gotten a pick on Doom right now.
Dire's bottom tower
And we
is
will
under
see
attack.
Naix going for the Hand of Midas, but he is 500 gold away from it, so he will have the latest Midas of them all. We see Psychedelia with the Haster and going to try and stop Tinker from Ancienting, but I don't think he wants that. We We see a Prophet TP in as well, so Ilias is going to be able to
out.
get him. Ooh, but the haste rune's so powerful. I can't believe he escaped. There are clips from the Luna.
Oh!
Ooh, he gets put in trees. Ilias barely survives. So dangerous. He will use a scroll of TP to just try and get away. Smart play there. I'm very surprised.
That was
to
so
see,
close.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see nobody get killed there. I was sure that people were going to go down. We see Ancient Apparition's going to try and drop the snowball on Kid named Jurster, but I think he'll be able to kill that Ancient before he gets down below 10%, and he certainly does. We did see some items getting completed there. It looks like there's 3 Midases on the field right now. Yep, 1 for Doom, 1 for Lifestealer, and 1 for Drow Ranger. So if A.P.E can make their mid-game happen, I mean, it's going to happen later than usual because they've gotten 2 Midases, so it's going to be hard for Doom and Lifestealer to be successful in ganking, but if they can possibly make it happen and get a few kills on the Luna, they might be able to get in to make this this work after such a rough laning phase, especially for the Prophet. I mean, if Prophet wanted to go for a Midas, I mean, that would be coming out at about 15 minutes, and that's not good at all. So he probably will not go for that, which is such a strong item on Prophet, but not when you go up against aggro tri-lane solo. We'll see Murd actually going to rotate into the off lane now, so we might see a bit of a switch here from Annie. They might rotate their Luna up top now that she's got... Oh, we see a bit of engagement from Affinity for STFU. We'll see Lucy actually diving. She popped Eclipse earlier. We'll see if TGC can get the Gale. He does. We'll see him drop some more Plague, but we see the Ancient Apparition coming up to support as well. Affinity for STFU does not have enough HP to be able to survive a whole lot, so he's going to try and back out, even though he had Doom. So whenever Doom is on cooldown, you want to be getting a kill with it, and he has not been able to do so thus far in the game.
No, exactly, and he was actually really close to going down there, STFU on the Doom. The Ancient Apparition Ice Blast at 10 minutes, having that up at 10 minutes is pretty crazy for a support Ancient Apparition. But yeah, it came in and it just missed by inches, and if it had hit, I think we could have just seen the Doom drop. Got pretty low from the Luna, spamming out the Lucent Beams, so really lucky to get away with that one.
Yep, and we will see Kid named Jurster finishing up his Boots of Travel at 10 minutes, which is actually a fantastic time for that. He is the highest net worth Radiant player right now, so he will start pushing immediately. We'll actually see Murd get open wounds down by Karama, but he will drop the cogs and escape. Nyx and Clockwork, it's a very interesting matchup because as soon as you go in the cage with Nyx, it's likely that you're going to die. So
yeah,
in one way, it's good that you isolate the the carry for the opponent's team, but in the other way, it's sort of self-sacrificial. So we'll see exactly how that pans out. We will see the Tinker going for a Soul Ring. He'll have that shortly. But the real problem right now is the Luna is already more than 1,000.
Yeah, already got the Helm with the Dominator up.
Yep,
and the creep's actually going to go and stack the Ancients now. So.
Yep, he will pick up a Hellbear Smasher. Was that his best option? Looks like it was. So the best creep for stacking Ancients is the Satyr, the Purple Satyr, because the bubble will aggro Ancients, and it has an HP regen aura, which means that it basically never has to go home. And we will see another sentry getting placed in the Radiant Ancients just to keep Tinker from Ancienting. I mean, if Tinker had true access to Ancients and had stacked it 12 times, I mean, he'll try and stack it here and it will fail, so he will realize it's warded. But even with that, 2 or 3 stack, that gave him a huge amount of net worth and just a large boost. So, smart play from Annie again to ward that. And we'll see Clockwork roaming, looking for picks right now. Psychodelia is going to be in lane. He will have his level 6 as well.
Tower is under attack.
So if we take a look at the levels right now, that's probably going to tell a really sad story for A.P.E right now. We see a level 11 Drow Ranger, a level 9 Luna, and they are both higher level than anybody on A.P.E. A lot of heroes are level 8 and 7. But Visage is level 6 still, so he's actually the most XP guttered, but he did do a lot of
And we're going to see Doom on the Luna up top.
Oh gosh, we're going to see Lucy get doomed here. Yillis TP's in as well, and then the AA ultimate to all of us. Really going to hit on Affinity for SCFU. And he won't really care about that. And he's actually gotten a bottle out of the jungle, so that's sort of an interesting strategy. What do you think about that, to get the bottle on the jungle Doom?
I mean, you do need it. I mean, he's decided not to go for a Bassi ring, so
yeah,
it's sort of
like a Bassi is sort of like the traditional thing we would expect to see.
Yeah, but we suggest that he's going to spend more time. Actually going to manage to pick up Roshan again.
Dyer's
yep, they've got that Medallion of
attack.
Courage on their Visage, so that Roshan became quite easy. And we see a Blink Dagger on Drow Ranger.
I quite like this actually. I think it's similar.
Crazy?
I think it's similar to the way that Shadow Fiend's played mid. You tend to go for either the Blink Dagger or you go for the Shadow Blade, and I
yeah.
think it probably works on Drow Ranger as well. Usually we see a Shadow Blade on a Drow Ranger, but I think Blink as well. And I think, especially now there's no mana cost on the Blink, it's such a strong item at the moment. And I think that's a really, really good item to have.
So yeah, this is certainly very interesting, and I definitely am excited to see if it works. I think that the Blink buff recently was actually, like, it doesn't seem like it's a big buff, but it is huge. I mean, nerfing the mana cost on that is massive, and we're going to see a engagement on TGC, and he's going to take so much damage in the form of right clicks, and Ape's going to drop the Aegis.
The arrow fired has
so
fallen.
that wasn't the longest Aegis in the world. He's going to get killed again.
This is why you get Blink.
Let's see, blinks! Ooh, the Tinker's here, though. They might be able to get him. No, and he blinks. The
Dire's
reaction
middle
was too
tower
fast.
is under attack.
And so now Ape will know that they've got a Blink Dagger Drow Ranger on their hands. And that was so cute. I'm not sure if that was just for creeps or if he was trying to hit Ape's heroes, but we see the Ancient Apparition dropping his ultimate to creep the camps and limit the amount of gold that Ape will have in the jungle. Who knows? Maybe he was just trying to get heroes, but I think that's really funny. I've actually been on a kick where you, like, just to try and limit your opponent's farm. Yeah, we see the Clockwork actually using the rocket there on those creeps, so... in the last few games I've played, I've sort of made it a habit to creep the opponent's jungle and like leave one creep alive to block the
camps. Exactly.
So perhaps we're seeing a little bit of that. Let's go ahead and check the XP and gold graph. We see Annie taking another hefty lead, and we see a smoke from them actually, or we see a smoke from Ape rather. TGC and Kurama are both smoked up here, and they might want to try and go on this Drow Ranger Luna combination. Both really fragile heroes right now. Even though, I mean, Luna does have that Oracle, and she does have a Mithril Hammer in the bank, so that BKB will be coming out really, really shortly. And we see Murd and Greed both rotating down right now, and Ape is really, they're just trying to find a place where they can do some damage, but I'm not sure, like, they have to rotate. I mean, they really cannot afford to take a team fight right now. The Ancient Apparition, we see him maxing Chilling Touch. It is too strong. We see the Venomancer here spamming Plagueborns just to try and defend this tower, but we can see how much damage it's already taken just from so few heroes. We see a kid named Jurster coming out to try and stop this with the March of the Machines, and I really think that the Tinker is the most vital hero on Ape's side right now. He really has to be pushing all these lanes back. I mean, just look at how hotly contested the jungle is right now. We see Annie placing so many wards, making it so hard for both Kurama and Doom to get in the jungle, and both of those heroes love the jungle and really want to try and make the most out of that. We see Murd trying to rotate Major. He's going to get tree, but he has a Force Staff already. Oh my goodness. So he'll be able to push himself out of the trees. We see an Ancient Apparition coming in as well, but
under attack.
the Tinker will rotate up with those boots of travel, push anything away, but we just see Lucy farming, and look at how aggressive he's being. But he can afford to do this just with how well warded the jungle is. I mean, there's no way that people can surprise him, and this is probably going to go ahead and push this tower. I mean, we'll see the Doom rotate down.
Yeah, and they've done a really, really good job
of Venomancer, so they might try and T-fight here. We'll see the Doom get dropped on Lucy. We'll see the Eclipse. The Eclipse already gets popped. He doesn't even need to cast anymore. He'll try and run away, just taking a lot of damage, but we'll see him go down to Kurama. Doom actually getting the last hit there with the Scorched Earth, and we'll see the AA on the run right now. He's got Arcane Boots. He'll try and TP. No mana for level death from Affinity for STFU, so he will escape unscathed. So that's the kind of thing that Ape needs to be doing, so that perhaps they found a little bit of an advantage. They found a little bit of groove right now. But the score's only 3-3, 17 minutes into the game, and we'll see Kid Named Jurster go down to Ape, and you really cannot afford to have your Tinker getting solo killed off like this, because now all the lanes will get pushed up, and we see Ape finishing the Yasha. So that will be a Manta style later for him.
Yeah, the control that Annie are managing to impart on the map is pretty insane at the moment. Like you say, warding of the jungle, making sure they've got vision absolutely everywhere, and they're really they're just absolutely constricting where the AP heroes can farm. And they like we said at the start, they've gone for that greedy build again, and they need to be able to find places to farm, and they can't do it at the moment. And the BKB finished on the Luna now as well. So
oh gosh, and that's before 18 minutes, so that is just a real devastating item to have so early in the game. I mean, Ape isn't necessarily hugely reliant on their CC, but just mitigating all that damage just from like the Venomancer ultimate and just doing so much to improve the escapability of the Luna, who's a hero that desperately needs escapability. Even with her high base movement speed, she can get caught out, fairly easily with that low HP pool, but when she gets farmed, she's hard to go mano a mano against. But I think the BKB is just such a key item on her, and to have that so quickly is extremely dangerous. We'll see a 4-step on Prophet, actually. I'm a little surprised to see that on Ilias. Perhaps he's recognizing that he's underfarmed and just trying to get an item that he knows he'll get a lot of utility out of for not a lot of money. The 4-step.
No, I think I think that's a legit. I think that's a legit build for the Prophet. To be fair, I think we've seen. Yeah, you see a few 4-steps. I think Bulldog tends to go 4-step from Alliance when he plays Prophet. I think that's a legit build. I think it gives you everything that you need. It gives you a bit of mana regen, it gives you a bit of, obviously, HP regen, and it gives you the ability to get out if you need to.
Yeah,
so,
I guess you're right. I should have given that more thought, because it gives you escapability that you might get from a Shadow Blade. But it gives, I think it's a little bit more of an early game style item, because it gives you that HP regen that's not really a huge problem later on. Actually, for a second, you get doomed here by Affinity Frost TFU, and Nelius is going to force out himself in. There's the trees, and that's dead Visage. But as I was saying, I think that's sort of a replacement for the Shadow Blade for the Nature's Prophet, and Shadow Blade is more of like an endgame carry style item, because it just gives you so much power in your right clicks, which is where most of Nature's Prophet's DPS comes from. And 4-staff won't give you that, but it will give you regen that allows you to stay out on the map a little bit more early in the game, which is what he sort of wants.
Radiant's middle tower.
Because all they need to do is
exactly. And when you're playing it,
oh gosh, we're gonna see a fantastic hookshot in from Mert. He's gonna get the Tinker like it was nothing. What a play!
That's a crazy hookshot.
Radiant's
Very
middle
nicely done
tower
there.
is
We'll
under
see
attack.
Lucy just pushing this tower again.
Dire's
So
structures
Annie is
are
just pushing towers
fortified.
like crazy right now. We'll see the A drop the bonus damage on 3 heroes. We'll see open wounds on Lucy. He's gonna drop the Eclipse and go on TCC, and he's gonna get absolutely murdered. Affinity Frost TFU comes in Invis, and we see Rage coming in on Kurama. He lead another Lucent Beam. He's got very little HP, though. He's going to actually might go down to Visage Pass. Oh, instead he gets gold.
Lucy's going to go down on the backside as well.
Yep, Nature's Prophet. Nice TP there. We'll see if the Chilling Touch procs on him. It does. Affinity Frost TFU's there as well. He has that Shadow Blade now on Doom, so I don't think the Shadow Blade on Doom is the greatest item. I feel like A.P.E is sort of panicking right now. We see the Drum on Lifestealer as well, so a lot of early game items coming out for A.P.E, but those are really not items you want late in the game, especially the Shadow Blade on Doom. I mean, you really want to see him getting the ACs, getting the heart, stuff like that.
Yeah, it is interesting. It is a lot of early game items coming out from A.P.E, and I'm not sure that's quite the right move, like you said, because Annie are so confident at pushing at the moment. They're just walking up to tier 2s with everyone on A.P.E still alive and just pushing the tower because they know they can take the fights because they've had such a great early game. Obviously, with the 2 Roshans giving them a massive golden experience boost as well, they can take fights at the moment and they'll win them. And something like a Drums on a Lifestealer, that says that you want to fight, but in reality you don't want to fight against this Annie lineup at the moment. You want to turtle them a little bit, build up those big items, like you said, get the Heart on Doom, maybe get the Assault Cuirass onto the Lifestealer, and then take the fight. And that's just something that they're not really thinking about at the moment. And like you said, I think they are starting to panic a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean, we just see such a big item advantage right now for Annie. I mean, we see the 4-step on the Clockwork, the mech finished on the A, and a Sanj and Yasha on the Drought Ranger, so her survivability just went through the roof, and she already is so survivable with that Blink Dagger. So A.P.E just cannot afford to fight right now, and they might get caught out here. TGC's going to eat the hookshot into the cogs. He's going to go down to the Lucid Beam.
The pain.
Venomous will, Clockwork rather, will actually get the last of the battery assault. But, everything's just going so south for A.P.E right now. I mean, they don't really have any conceivable way out of this. I mean, they've got to try and get some farm on their Lifesteal, who will be going for an armlet. I don't think... he's sort of... Kurama's between a rock and a hard place right now. He can either save money and go for a larger item like a Mjolnir or an Assault Cuirass, or he can go for that, the Armlet of Mordregan, and try and get a little bit of mid-game power. But they've got the AA, who's very good against armlet toggling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So
it pretty much. I mean, I think it makes the item completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
If Ice Blast hits you, you can't armor toggle at all, and it literally is then just an item that it's giving you the buffs, but the health drain with the Ice Blast buff as well, it's just gonna absolutely eat through you, and you will die.
I mean, you get bonus strength for it, but you're really put on a timer without feast to compensate for the HP drain. So.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's the only thing the Armlet of Mordregan is going to give Kurama on the Lifesteal right now is the potential to solo pick supports in the jungle. That's really all it's giving him. It's not going to improve his durability in team fights at all. It's not really going to give him survivability if the Ice Blast lands, which it likely will. So I'm,
Yeah,
just,
I mean, like
but
you say,
it's not like his. This isn't the item he wanted. I guarantee. This is the item he was forced into, just by how the
Yeah, of
game
course
is
it
going
is.
and how aggressive the warding has been from Annie and how fantastic and how well they've been able to get in the face of the carries for Ape. And gosh, we see a Chrysalis
Yes.
already from Drow Ranger, and she has 1,800 gold in the bank. I just don't know how this Drow Ranger is finding all this farm. If we take a look at the net worth, I'm sure
You're going to
she's
be doing
in
Roshan
front.
again.
Yeah. So she is 3,000 ahead of the Luna, who is a hero
Roshan
renowned
has
for
fallen to the
flash
dire.
farming and the ability
Dire's
to
middle
creep
tower is
extremely
under
well. So
attack.
we'll possibly see a push here from Ape, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to take anything super relevant. I mean, this tier 1 would be nice. We'll actually hear a Doom go at it as a Clockwork coming to hook on the Venomancer as well. We'll see the A ultimate fly. Connects on Affinity for SCP, but Ape's eating the Doom. We'll see if they get the deny off on him. Oh, actually the Nature Prophet ultimate's going to kill him, so that's pretty interesting. So we will see a 1-for-1 there, and the Venomancer is certainly not as important as the Drow Ranger, but Annie will get the
Yeah,
deny on
good
him.
trade that
middle
for Ape.
tower
Yeah,
has been
that's
denied.
the silver lining of this game so far, at least. But I'm really
Yeah.
surprised. I mean, we were talking in the
Dire's
draft
top
about
tower is under
the
attack.
capacity to have a lot of ganking between Nature's Prophet's teleportation and then Tinker with an infested Lifestealer or something like
Yeah.
that. We haven't seen that a single time. I mean, I don't even think we've seen Infest get used.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I think perhaps
No,
Ape's
they've
a
not.
little
They've
bit
not used that
tilted
once
right
this
now.
game yet.
Dire's
Yeah.
structures are fortified.
So I really feel like, oh gosh, Mert's going to drop the cogs there, and that's going to interrupt the TP, and then he gets a battery assault, so Yelius will be caught out here, and he won't be able to TP. He's got to try and do something cute, but I don't think he'll be able to. He's just going to go ahead and die. Clockwork will get the last
Dire's
hit.
top tower has
Recompense for
fallen.
a fantastic cog.
It's another reason as well, actually, for the Nature's Prophet. When I was thinking about it a bit more, in terms of going the Force Staff, obviously the main hero you're going to have to contend with is going to be the Clockwork hooking
Yep.
in.
with the cogs.
And putting you in the cogs, and it can obviously force staff out of the cogs, which is another reason for picking it up. But like you say, if there's heroes like that all around, and you've really got nowhere to go, especially when Merd's hitting the hooks that he's been hit,
Dire's
the
middle
hooks he's
tower
been
is
hitting this
under
game
attack.
have been
Playing a
absolutely
fantastic
insane so
Clockwork.
far.
Yeah, I mean, he makes those hooks look so easy, and let me tell you, they are not. it is
No.
a very... Oh my gosh, and speaking of that, he gets another one on TGC, who's a terrible target to eat hooks. And he will get out of here, in and out, easy as
Absolutely
pie. Venomancer, Venomancer and Crystal Maiden are the two worst heroes to eat hook shots on. Let me tell you, it's just terrible. They just explode.
You just die.
Yeah,
You
it's
just die.
really terrible. We'll see Ape possibly getting into engagement here with Karama. He's going to drop the open wounds on Ape, and Ape's just going to try and go man mode, but I don't think he can. We'll see the Tinker TP in as well. We're going to see the was that Cheese? Or, yeah, it was Cheese.
Cheese?
They have
Yeah,
they
the
have
Cheese
three Roshans, and he will survive. So that's another aspect of the level 1 Roshan we didn't expect. You get Cheese at 20 minutes into the game on your Drow Ranger.
Yeah.
So he will have a deadlist
pretty insane.
relatively quickly, and the Satanic already on Luna. He had that for some time. So
One thing that Ape do have going for them is when Annie try and push uphill, it's going to be really, really difficult to do that against March of the Machines and the Plague Wards. So in terms of the turtling strategy, once we start hitting these tier 3s, as long as they don't get picked off, as long as no heroes get picked off on the side of Ape and they play very passively, and just try and get some farm on their core heroes, they should be able to hopefully turtle the game into a later stage. And Annie definitely won't be able to push against that. Obviously, then when you've got the power of the Clockwork, you can hook in and find those pick-offs and take that advantage. It makes it a little bit harder, but that's something that we should probably look to see as they group up on this bottom lane now to try and take this tier 2.
we can see this defense on the tier 2 right now, and I mean this is what we're going to see in the tier 3s shortly as soon as these towers start to fall. But it will be harder going uphill. But the
Radiant's
problem with that is
bottom
that
tower
will
is
open up
under
both
attack.
jungles to be farmed
Radiant's
by
bottom
Annie, and
tower
we will
has
see that
fallen.
Luna finish 6 items and that Drow finish 6 items, and then I'm pretty sure it's not going to matter how many machines get marched at that stage of the game. I mean, just look at the farm that Doom has. We're actually going to see an engagement on Psychodila. The Doom will get dropped. That's a bit of overkill. But Karama will get the kill on him. So he's going to be going for a Basher. He'll have it shortly. But Doom's going for what appears to be a Refresher Orb. He's got a Perseverance and a Point Booster, so he's probably going to go for Ag's Refresher. But he's sort of building it
Lifesteal is
all
actually gonna get
at the
taken
same
down.
time, and that's a problem for Lifesteal. We're going to see Prophet TP in on Lucy, actually. I'm not sure if I like that decision at all. He's going to have the mischance from the laser, and he will drop the Eclipse. Oh, he's got it so low HP right now. He still does have the H. Remember, the Eclipse is going to get a double kill for him, and they're going to go for more on Yelius.
I tell you what, they've obviously practiced this strategy because bear in mind you've got the aura coming out from the Drow Ranger. The Luna, when the Drow Ranger's with them and the aura's activated, it's actually hitting for like 300 damage, like 250 damage.
You can see the right click on
and that's why he's
Joseph
gone
right now. So much DPS. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's so much DPS, and that's why we see him rush the Satanic just to fight up against the Lifestealer. He's got the damage. He doesn't need any more damage. They've got the damage at this stage of the game, so he's actually gone for the Satanic, and we saw that used. He got so low, and then he popped the Satanic, and he just healed straight back up again.
Radiant
So
Lifesteal used primarily to.
Great item choice.
Oh gosh, we're gonna see Ilias TP in on here on Lucy. I don't think he can do this. Maybe with the Lifestealer as well, but we'll see the open wounds and the rage come out from Karama. We'll see the Force Staff from Murd. Nice use of that to get Lucy into the trees. We see a Tinker TPing in as well, and he's got a Blink Dagger, so he will get the kill on Luna. So I think she possibly overstayed her welcome there on that tier 2.
Yeah,
playing
definitely.
maybe a little bit aggressive, got a little bit full of herself, and paid the price. But as we were saying, you get Lifesteal when you're going to be going mano-a-mano up against other carries, and Lifesteal is a fantastic example over here. You want to have Lifesteal against just to compensate for that feast damage. And so I definitely think that that's the right item to get, as opposed to like a Manta Style or a Butterfly or something like that, something more traditional. And we'll see Ilias probably get picked off here by A.P.E. Look at the damage from this Drow Ranger.
Oh, what a hook! What a hook mid lane!
I missed out on that. I was too busy. Too busy.
Crazy hook mid lane from Murd. He actually just hooked in and then full staff straight out again.
Boom, there it goes.
Just to get in there and get the mind games going. But he does have that Aghanim Scepter, so he can just afford to throw hook shots. We'll see if he goes for another one. He's actually posturing sort of like he wants to just throw a blind hook right now into the jungle, which is always funny to do. One time out of 100 you hit it and look like,
Do it with
look like a
flair.
genius. We'll see the Rocket Flare actually to scout out. And Infinity for STFU here has got to be really careful. We could see a hook if he's not careful. Oh, goodness. Nope. I amped everybody up for nothing. But whenever you see the Rocket Flare come out, you immediately have to think that, could I be getting hook-shotted right now? Because the chances are you probably are. We see an Aghanim Scepter on Psychedelia as well, so the items for Annie are just absolutely out of control. I mean, we see 8,000 gold advantage for them. We will see this get warded and spotted out by A.P.E, so we'll see if they can come up with a sentry and deward that. But it's just so hard for them to be out on the map right now. I mean, we see a smoked and hasted Murd on the Clockwork right now, and he's going to try and go for Affinity for STFU here, but I don't think that's a good decision, because there's going to be 4 heroes for A.P.E here in a moment. But as this game progresses, I'm not sure what A.P.E can do. I mean, they're going to have a large stage where they can turtle, but even if they get their Lifestealer with it, I mean, even if he had 2 core items, I mean, right now, that would still not even, that might even the game up. It certainly wouldn't give them an outright advantage, and their Doom is building Ag's Refresher, so I'm just not sure how big they're going to be able to make those heroes. I mean, Lifestealer is arguably the best mid-game carry, but through the late game, he really starts to not be so great.
Yeah.
Just as soon as
especially against the Luna,
less of a factor. Yeah, and Luna obviously is super hard as a super late hard carry, does best. The longer the games go. And Drow Ranger's sort of in the middle. Oh gosh, hero hookshot here on Murd. He's going to land it again on Ilias. 3 heroes committed to that, so that Prophet gets taken down again. So I'm just so surprised to see A.P.E unable to make this split pushing lineup work against such a ganking DPS-based lineup for Annie. I mean, Annie's had a tower advantage pretty much all game, which is something that's absurd against a Nature's Prophet and a Tinker. We'll see Greed actually get taken extremely low here. Kid named Jersey's going to jump in with the Blink Dagger and get the kill.
That was genius.
He's going to have to be really careful, though. Clockwork doesn't connect from Murd, so he is human. He does miss one. But we are going to see the Sheepstick coming out from Tinker. Sheepstick is a fantastically strong item, but Luna already has BKB. I mean, she's had that forever. So I guess the consolation prize for that is that it's not going to be a 10-second charge, but she still has 8 seconds as her current charge on that BKB. So as the game goes on now, we'll get lower and lower. So the Sheepstick will be more important. We see Karama going up against A.P.E mano-a-mano here, and that will certainly be a kill for Karama.
It was worth it.
Gets bashed.
Yeah, I think it's whoever gets the jump now in the next fight. I think the Tinker definitely has to get the Sheepstick. I think the only target you can really realistically go for is that Luna. Because if you don't, you're just going to get, the BKB is going to get popped. We're going to see the Eclipse come out, the Satanic to heal him back up. Actually, an Eagle Song picked up now, so we're going to see going into a Butterfly to be even more tanky against this Doom and this Lifestealer. And
yeah, and I mean, there's no MKB in sight for A.P.E right now. They do have the Sheepstick on the Prophet, which is good. And their Basher finished up on the Lifestealer, but I'm really concerned And we have an Aghanims on Doom, which is certainly good. I mean, he hasn't eaten the creeps that throw the poison spears, so that's an interesting one to pick up. I'm surprised to see no wolf creep yet get devoured by the Doom. And like the last couple of times I've seen Doom, I have not seen Doom get a wolf creep. And I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, because when I play Doom, that's the creep I'm looking for all game.
Yeah, I think that is the creep that you are looking for all game. Definitely.
I mean, even like ridiculous level. I mean, like level 4, I'm looking for the wolf creep. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I crit for 150 at level 4, that's fine by me. I mean, I guess at level 1 you can look for the large satyr for the HP regen, but I haven't seen people get wolf creeps, which is strange. I mean, especially when people are doing the utility caster Doom. So I guess there's like possibly some differences there, but I feel like wolf creep's the way to go. We'll see a smoke here from Ape. We'll see TGC and Karama both get smoked. Affinity for STFU perhaps going to be the bait. They will fight over this DD. It's going to be the Ancient Apparition who gets the DD, but he's probably going to pay for that with his life. There's the Gale, and the Doom's going to go to work. And actually, there's a rotation in here from AD, so they're going to be able to turn this. They're going to see a refresher in from the Doom, but he doesn't have enough mana to cast another Doom. We're going to see Vigis get Venomancer. Mer's going to miss a hookshot, but the Tinker has arrived, as well as a Prophet. Prophet's really isolated right now. He's going to be on the run. He's going to try and force himself away and get into a TP position, and he does. So he'll be able to get out there. So, man, that was extremely dangerous for Ape. They almost... that was, like, on the verge of team wipe for everybody. I mean, we saw heroes barely escape there. And this is the problem when you get Ags Refresher Doom, and when you don't have enough mana to cast. I mean, I really don't think that that's the best way to go, especially with the current lineup right now. I mean, potentially that's just to try and stop the extremely relevant risk of team fight that Annie brings to the table between that AA and the Luna and the Clockwork, but all heroes that are extremely vulnerable to silence. We will see a smoke from Annie right now, so they'll try and press their advantage here and go into the jungle looking for a kill on Doom or Nags, but they won't find anybody. So they'll probably just go ahead and just creep this lane, push it up, and probably gather for a 5-man push to try and take a Rax, and we'll see how good the turtling is from Ape.
Yeah, I think that's something that they need to do now. I think they need to push uphill and just try and take a Rax, and they're actually going to, oh my god, they're going to might even catch out this Tinker here.
That's a huge
on this bottom
He's
lane.
Going to try and blink and TP. Where's the
he's going to not get away. He's going to get killed.
The Lucent Beam. He's going to go down. Does he have buyback? This is actually really an important time for him to be up.
No.
He does not have buyback. He's just a hair short of that. And we'll see the lifesteal actually going to get caught by the Cogs. Murd lands another hookshot, and Ape started to drop huge DPS on this lifesteal. You see she has finished the Daedalus and the SNY, so she will be critting for about 1,000.
You have to earn it.
Even without the Ancient Apparitions buff, so...
And with the Tinker and the Lifestealer down now, they can push uphill. They can push uphill with absolutely no threat at all.
Yeah, and
the Lifestealer does have buyback.
Prophet is pushing the top lane, but that tier 2 does not matter. I mean, he's got 2 teammates in a Venomancer and an Intel Caster, Ags Refresher Doom, and they are not going to be able to defend this.
Radiant structures are fortified.
We'll see the Lifestealer buy back into the game, but that's too late. I mean, he should have bought back immediately. They must have known this was coming. The Rax are going to go down here. There they go. Melee Rax are down. We'll see a fantastic hookshot from
Lifestealer's going to go down again.
Lifestealer's going to get killed. We'll see the Doom on Ape. He might go down. Nature's probably gets the last hit on him, but Ilias will go down to the Eclipse. It's huge damage from Lucy. I would expect to see a GG shortly here. I really don't think that Ape can contest with this.
Middle barracks are under attack.
Just everything seeming to go wrong from them from minute 1. We see Visage. Nice resummon on the bats there. He dropped the Soul Assumption on Tinker, who's trying to scurry away into the fountain. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get there. He will.
Radiant's middle
see Psychodelia trying to TP out. Ilias going to drop some right clicks. He's going to actually cancel the TP and go man on man. Visage is going to go down first, though, so not the greatest trade. Lucy's still alive, though. Her Satanic is on cooldown, but she does still have the Aegis. So, and now we see Tinker coming into effect with the March and the missiles, but they should have had that. I mean, since he got picked, they weren't able to have that in mid when they really, really needed it, and now they're just taking a huge disadvantage right now. We'll see a kid named Drish to get infinite sheeps off on Lucy, so he will go down. Aegis will get popped. There's going to be, they'll probably camp this. I'm not sure if they're going to, if Annie can get up here and stop this. Yeah. There's the Venomancer ultimate. It's actually going to get thrown off by the BKB, and the trees don't connect. Are you kidding me? They must get this pick. This is so vital for them. Tinker must be here to get infinite sheets. There it is, finally. This is what they should have just done right at the beginning. I mean, Tinker should just be here to have infinite Aegis. But Luna has finished the butterfly, so Prophet can't go one-on-one against Luna right now. This should have been an easy kill for them, but Luna will escape twice
Radiant's middle
and
tower
not
is
die.
under
She has
attack.
3,000 gold in the bank, and that's another Reaver on the way to Heart. So there's another third engagement here. We'll see if Luna can't get killed finally here. Kid named Jerser's going to come up, finish that kill off. Kurama's going to get the last hit. So my goodness, that was a little bit sloppy, I feel like, from Ape. Perhaps the Tinker was out of mana and had to go back to the fountain a few times, but you really must stay on the Luna. You can't afford to let her get away when she's so vulnerable.
Yeah, she just overstayed. She overstayed the welcome, the Luna did, and like you say, they made a bit of a mess of trying to pick her off. It just shows how tanky she is now. Now she's got the Satanic up and running, she's got the Butterfly up and running as well, and she actually lost a lot of damage once the Drow Ranger died, which I think is at the point she should have maybe backed up, because obviously she lost the aura coming out from the Drow, which is quite a lot of DPS at this stage in the game. But yeah, like you say, A.P.E able to pick it up and maybe looking to try and push straight back at Annie.
Yep, we'll see a four-man
Do have refresh
here.
Duma.
I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do anything. Yilia's actually going to get revealed here. If Annie was paying attention, they will notice that he was smoked. We're going to see Ape get caught up here by the secret shop. We'll see if he sells that cheese and buys the TP. He has 5,000 gold in the bank. He might get doomed here, and he will. There's Affinity for STP going to chase into the trees. Ape's going to try and juke here. He's going to get caught out by Kurama, though.
Yeah, he's going to go down.
He'll get killed. But in reality, it's too little too late for Ape. I mean,
with your corpse.
with this Rax going down, I mean, it's just... the game is so far out of reach for them. They just have no strategy for getting back in. I mean, even though we see them taking a bit of a bounce back in the
Pull roots
XP,
and run.
just from getting some nice picks and some aggressive team fights from Annie. I mean, Annie could team wipe conceivably into Ape 2 times. I mean, they could take a 5-for-0 twice, and it still wouldn't get them 100% back in this game just because of how far the Luna is. And the chances that they actually take that team wipe times 2 is
Dire's top tower
extremely
is
limited.
under attack.
We'll see them take the top tier too, but it's going to be
Dire's
a
top
huge
tower
cost right
has
now for
fallen.
Affinity SCFU. Going to get caught out by that hook or hook up from Clockwork. We'll see him get the refresher off, but not the second Doom. Kurama's going to have a lot of damage thrown on him. We'll see Creed actually get the last hit with that massive right click, 102 plus 102. And hookshot again. So actually he's on his teammate. So that was really hilarious. But Ancient Apparition...
The Ice Blast just absolutely
it hit
destroyed everyone
hit on
there.
3 heroes. And
It hit on all 3. Yeah.
Yeah, so much damage. And then it was actually really hilarious to see Ancient Apparition get the last hit on the lifestealer there, with the 36 plus
Yeah, hitting
damage or
hard.
percent damage from Precision Aura from Drow, and then from Chilling Touch. Really hilarious. So that Chilling Touch effective even past 40 minutes in Dota 2 right now. But this strategy from Annie, I am extremely tempted to go into a draft and get
Rock it on.
Drow, Ancient Apparition,
Radiant's
Luna,
top tower is under
and Vengeful
attack.
Spirit, and just see how that goes. See if we can't maximize some right
Radiant's
clicks.
top tower has fallen.
Yeah, the DPS is absolutely insane, and it does allow you to go for those items like the Satanic and just push and push and push, and then get low, go into the jungle, pop the Satanic, hit a Karuk a couple of times, get back to full health, and then push some more. And another hook in on the Venomancer. Murd with these hooks has been insane.
Absolutely ridiculous. We'll see Tinker jump in and get a cheap stick off on her, but it's not going to matter. I think we'll see a GG here after these racks go down. After Lucy drops another.
Yeah,
there
GG.
it is.
Radiant's
So,
bottom
man,
barracks are
Bird's
under attack.
Clockwork. That was
Dire's
like.
bottom tower.
We've
Radiant's
seen some
bottom
good clockwork
barracks
in this
has
tournament,
fallen.
but that
The
was
Dire
truly
victory.
extraordinary and really, really special play from him.
Yeah.
I mean, he only missed
Yeah,
like one
definitely.
hook shot that whole game, which is absurd. You know, I'm lucky to get like 50% hook shot rate, like hit rate.
Exactly.
And it's not even like good hook shots either. It's like point blank or like not even like
Yeah.
relevant. But he's gotten like fantastic initiation style hook shots and solo picks. Man, I mean, we just see Luna level 24, just so much XP, so much GPM, 671, 653 for Drow Ranger as well. And we see the supports for Annie nearly out leveling the carries for Ape, which is never good. I mean, they're clearly not there yet, but they're within shouting distance, so clearly not